You came into my life, sent from above, better than a dream, such a perfect love. And I'll adore you till the end of time, angel of mine. Nothing means more to me than what we share. No one in this whole world can ever compare.
November 19th, 2019. D is back in town. So he got back in that morning. He called me and let me know that he was in because I took off work that day because Kyle was supposed to have his car seat test. And the car seat test is when you have a baby in the NICU and they ready to discharge the baby. They have to be able to sit strapped in the car seat for an hour and 30 minutes without their oxygen levels dropping. Kion had just got off of oxygen. They was finally able to wean him off the oxygen. So no more tubes, no more oxygen, just all him. So he was going to do his car seat test without any oxygen. So you had to make sure that his oxygen levels don't drop in that hour and 30 minutes. And then he's passed and he's discharged and he's good to go home. So Darian's there for the car seat test because he is ready for us to get to Maryland. He's there. He meet me at the hospital. We walk into the NICU. Of course, it's been a month since he's been gone, like a little over a month since he's been gone. So the new NICU nurses, because he was in a different pod now. He's in a pod all by himself. So the new nurses, they didn't know him. They only knew me. So he walked in before me to check in. And they looked, the lady at the front was just looking at him funny. And I walked in behind him like, oh, hey, Miss Smith. I was like, hey. Just like, oh, you ready? Is this the big day? I was like, yeah, I'm so ready. And Darian just standing there. I said, yeah. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I'm like, because we need to go. I'm ready to get to Maryland so he can meet his brothers, so he can meet his other family. I'm so excited to actually just finally be able to just cuddle on him in the bed instead of like having to be here in this NICU around all these beeping and the noises. And she said, I understand that. And Darian just standing there. So I gave her my ID. She gave me the badge, and she was just like, you can go ahead in. And then Darian still just standing there, hadn't said a word. She looked at Darian. She said, may I help you, sir? He was just like, that's my baby too. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not know. Can I see your ID? And I was like, oh yeah, that's Kion's dad. That's his dad. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've never seen him before, but hey, congratulations. Good luck today. He's like, I was like, fuck this nigga here. Like, please, in my head, I'm just like, please, don't start. Like, you just got here. Everything's been good. Like, come on, don't start. So she gave me his little badge, and we walk into Lakaya's little area, sit down. And nurse come in, it's like, ready? The car seat was already there because Darian had carried the car seat in. The car seat was already there. And they put him in. They strapped him in, put him in, and got the timer going. It was like, yeah, he has to be here for an hour and a half with his O2 levels looking good. It's like, okay, cool. So we sitting there. And Darian was just like, so how's everything's been going? I'm like, it's been okay. It's been good. He was like, you talked to your mama since your grandma's birthday party? I'm like, nah, I ain't talk. I ain't talking to nobody. Like, I ain't talking to nobody. I just been working. He said, what about your second child? You seen your second child? I was like, nah, I mean, I've been trying to go to the daycare to see him, but I haven't been seeing him because I did not tell him that when he was gone, I was picking up Carter and continue on the joint custody with Carter's dad. I didn't tell him that. So he thought that I was still just going to see Carter at the daycare. Yeah. So I was just like, no, I'm still going to see him from time to time at a daycare when I'm able to. He was like, oh, okay. He's like, so what did he say about you leaving him here? I said, well, I told him that we're going to modify the custody and that for now that I'm leaving him here for now. And he was just like, okay. I was like, what that was for? He was like nothing. He was like, you know, when we get up there, you can't talk about him. You can't talk about him until I tell my family about him. And then I'm not going to tell my family about him until y'all got that custody thing situated. Because all your baby father try to do is try to control you. And he uses your son to control you. And in my household, the only person that can have control in my household is me. He can't have control over nothing, anybody and nothing in that doggone household. And I was like, okay. I get it. I get it. He's like, yeah, so when y'all get that modified and he know that he can't have control over my household, then I tell my family about it. Right. Okay. All right. That'll work. I guess that'll work, but okay. So we steady just talking, and next thing you know, I hear beeping. Kion's oxygen levels was dropping, and we're only 20 minutes into the car seat test. So the nurse come in, check on him. She's like, okay, it's going up and down, but we don't want it to drop past 88. If it dropped past 88, then it's like it's a fail. It's like right now he's borderline at 90, 89, 90. But if it drops any lower, like he failed. So I'm like, okay, all right. And she walk out. And I just started looking at Kaya. And I'm just like, come on, you got it. You can do it. He's in the car seat, just sleep there. And just like, so I was thinking about getting new headlights for my truck. And I looked at him. I was like, you know, when I was thinking when we get to Maryland, I gotta get me a job. He's like, oh, yeah, you do. It's like, what about those jobs that you had lined up? I was like, well, those 2 of them, they couldn't hold a position for me because I couldn't tell them exactly when I was coming back. And one said that she will hold it for me, but that's the job that's only paying $17 an hour. And I'm just like, that. I feel like I should be making more than $17 an hour, especially up there. And he was like, yeah. So once I get the headlights for the truck, I'm thinking about putting some rims on it. But I don't know how the rims are going to look like, what kind of rims I want. I don't know if I want black or what. I was just like, oh. Well, I looked at some houses, too. I was looking at houses, and I think I found one. I think when we get up there, like, we'll go and look at that house. And he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. And he was like, and I found this mechanic that can put my headlights on. And as soon as he started talking about the headlights, beep, 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 Kaya's O2 levels was dropping again. The nurse came in there. At this time, it hadn't dropped from 89 to 87 to 86. And when it hit 86, she was like, nope, that's it. She got him up out that car seat, put him back in his crib. She said we was going to have to put him back on oxygen. She said his levels isn't stable. We're going to have to put him back on oxygen. And I was like, so what does that mean? She was just like, we're going to redo the car seat test. Like, once we look at all his vitals and things, we're going to redo the car seat test. And but this time it's going to be with oxygen. But it's not going to be today. I was like, okay, so what day you thinking? She was like, I don't know. It's not going to be today. We can push for tomorrow, but we want to make sure everything's okay because we don't know why his oxygen levels is dropping because he's been good. He's been fine without oxygen for the last 3 days. So I don't understand why his oxygen level dropping right now. So once we do our test, we'll let you know when we're going to redo the car seat. I was just like, okay, all right, that'll work. And I'm just seeing the nurse walk out. D look at me. He's like, what the fuck that mean, Slim? I was like, what you mean, what that mean? He's like, so what, he got to stay some more months? I was like, well, that's not what she said. She just said that they're going to, like, check his vitals and see why his oxygen is dropping all of a sudden. Because he has been good without any oxygen for the last few days. So they just wanted to make sure everything is still good. He was just like, so we going to have to be here longer? I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess so. We're gonna have to be here till he passed the car seat test. I don't know how this works. I guess so. And he was just like, man, this some bullshit, and stood up and walked out. And I'm just looking. I'm just like, I ain't doing this because I haven't had to do this in the last month and a half. It's been peaceful. I've been able to get to know the nurses, get to know the doctors, get to know the people at the Ronald McDonald's house that I'm like staying with. Like everything has been good. It's been fine. I was slowly getting back to my bubbly self with my friends, so they stopped worrying about me because it's like yo, I was getting back to me slowly. It was slowly, but I was. And I'm like, I don't need this. So I just let him go. I let him go. About 5 minutes go by, he calling my phone. I'm like, hello? I can't get into the Ronald McDonald House. I was like, what you mean you can't get into it? He's like, because you got the key, stupid. I got to check back in because I just got back. I was like, all right, I'm on my way.